Howdy gang, this is The Outside. Welcome back to another video. It's been a little bit between drinks with the videos at the moment because I had been focusing really heavily on my running and didn't really make a lot of time for the video editing. This weekend, we're in Lorne in Victoria, and the reason we're here is for the Great Ocean Road Marathon. Now there's a heap of events on this weekend. I believe there's like a 12-kilometre trail run. There's a half marathon, which is around about 23 kilometres, and it goes from Kennett River all the way to Apollo Bay. And then there's the big deal, the marathon. It's a bit longer than a usual road marathon. It's 44 kilometres, and it goes from Lorne, where we are right now, all the way through to Apollo Bay. It's an undulating run. It's the only chance you ever get to go on the Great Ocean Road in Victoria, so it's a brilliant experience. And we've been working really hard to get ourselves to the point where we can run this thing. Now for me, that's not going to happen. I've got some injury problems, but Allie's primed, had an awesome block, and she's ready to go tomorrow morning first thing. There is another event that I didn't mention, and that's the Ultra. It basically follows the same course as the 44-kilometre road marathon, but about 2/3 of the way through, they kind of cut up into the hills and do a bit of climbing, a little bit of trail stuff. Then they come back down and they pop out at Apollo Bay also. The real challenge with the Ultra is it's the same time frame or the same time limit as the marathon. I think it's 6.5 hours. So you've really got to be going pretty well if you want to get that time. So to make things easier for us, I'm playing full support crew this weekend. So pretty much after the start tomorrow, I've got to get in the car and get around to Apollo Bay. Obviously I can't take the shortest route via the Great Ocean Road, so I've got to go through the mountains. So that'll take a couple of hours, but hopefully I should get there in time to see all of the leaders finish, probably for the marathon and the Ultra, and obviously to see Allie come in. So to make things comfortable for ourselves, we've decided to stay in a hotel in Lorne for the night, just to make sure we're really well rested. We'll go and get a really good meal tonight, get an early night, and make sure Allie's primed to go in the morning. The weather looks okay, but I think it'll still be a pretty cool start. Now, given I'm pretty much laid up with injury and I can't run this one, even though I was really hopeful I would, I'm living vicariously through Allie for this run. So I can't take you through all the things that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm going to get Allie to take you through what she's doing tomorrow. So probably for the first time, maybe on the channel, Allie gets to play a speaking part, which is kind of cool. So like I said, I'm probably struggling with the fact that I can't run. So I am really hedging all my bets on Eloise to have a really good day tomorrow. And by having a good day, all I mean is enjoy it. Anybody who's out there having a go tomorrow, I hope you really enjoy your race, and I hope you get a chance to see this. And if you do, consider subscribing to the channel, because that gives me heaps of encouragement and helps me out. And feel free to like the video. Anyway, okay, away from the plugs. So as far as tonight goes, what's your priority for this evening as far as what are you going to eat and what are you going to do?
Certainly. So I might even take a step back about 5 days. So I've really spent a lot of this week hydrating, so making sure I'm drinking a lot of water, trying to get about 2 litres in each day, a lot of that including some hydrolyte, making sure I'm getting really good rest and eating really well. So really good mixture of protein, carbs, fat, good veggies, and great sleeps. Tonight for dinner, what I'm going to aim for is something that's going to sit fairly well in my tummy. We're going out for dinner at the local pub, so I think there's a fairly big range of food there, so I'll try and avoid anything that's too creamy, anything that's too rich that's going to sit terribly in my tummy. So hopefully maybe a tomato-based pasta would be ideal. Nice big drink of soda water. We're having dinner fairly early, so 5:30 will be our dinner, retirees time. Plenty of time to digest and get the food down before a really good sleep.
No, it's always a really good plan, I think, is to get as much sleep as you can. Not just the night before, because sometimes that's really hard because you're all nervous and you just want to go and you're visualizing everything in your mind, but the lead up days. So if you can get anywhere from 2, 3 or 4 really good sort of nights rest in the lead up, that's going to take you through, because you kind of always run on that 2 nights sleep ago, if that makes sense. Not so much what you did last night. I haven't set an alarm yet. What time am I getting up in the morning?
Okay, so race starts at 8 a.m. I think I'll set the alarm clock for a little bit before 6 o'clock. Probably I'll have a snooze for about 10 minutes, hit the snooze button just to allow me to fully wake. Get straight up, straight into the shower, freshen up. I'll have all my gear set up the night before so I don't have to worry about getting bib onto my clothes, get everything all set up. So that will all happen the night before. My food intake for the morning, have a coffee, so just a nice small coffee. I'll just stick with my routine. For breakfast, what I have done before each of my long runs, so just keeping it consistent. So I'll have some toast with some jam on it, probably have about 2 or 3 pieces, probably a banana as well. So that will be about 2 hours before the race. And then, we'll head down to the start line probably about 7:15, 7:30, and get in amongst it, ready to go.
I actually don't know how many people are running the marathon, so I'll try and do that research tonight and I'll put the figure down below. I believe there's 10,000 entrants for all of the events, so I might list all of those just for anybody who is interested in maybe running this race in the future or has run it before and want to be a bit nostalgic by watching this. You'll see how big this event's got. It really is quite a big deal these days. Once on the start line, or once we get down to the start line, what's the first plan of attack when you get down there?
Line up for the toilets. That is the first plan of attack. One thing I will do before the race starts is I'll actually just have a little carb chew. So probably about 15 minutes before the race. That sits really well in my tummy, so I'm not starting on the back foot before the race.
And through the race, what's your nutrition going to look like as you go?
Sticking with what I have eaten throughout my training. So goo gels, I've got chocolate outrage just because I look forward to it every time I have it. Tastes like a chocolate brownie. My aim is to have one of those every 45 minutes. I'll be carrying those on me throughout the race. Really lucky with drink stations throughout the race.
There's a heap, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a heap. Yeah, I think the first one's about the 2.5K mark. Then they'll happen every 5Ks from there. I will carry a little bit of water with me.
I do make fun of the size of that drink bottle a lot since Allie bought it. I think you might have got that in Chamonix. How much is it? It's like 150 millilitres, which is about half a cup of tea. It sounds perfectly reasonable to me to carry something of that size. Now, not that it really matters because everybody has different tastes, but what are you putting on your feet tomorrow morning?
I have treated myself to the New Balance Super Comp Elite, a version 4, I believe they are. I've been for one long run in them and a shorter run. They just, give me so much extra support and are really going to, help with avoiding any hip pain. I've had calf problems throughout my 16-week training block. So, these are super supportive and bouncy, and I'm going to enjoy wearing them on the day.
I would have enjoyed wearing mine too. We could have been really, really matchy, but wasn't to be. So we'll have to be the next half marathon or next marathon where we pull these guys out. Obviously can't wear them on the trail, so we'll have to sign up to something new. Anyway, thank you very much for that. That's us done for this evening. We're going to look after ourselves, rest, eat, and then sleep. Next you'll see from us will be the morning. So wish us luck in both our capacities as the runner and as the support crewer. Go get him! Have fun, enjoy it. All right, so marathon and ultra marathoners are away. What a start. And what a great morning they've got for it. It was expected to be raining and horrible, typical Otway sort of weather, but it's perfect for them. There's no wind, or it's pretty much protected from the mountain ranges anyway. And there's no rain. You can see a bit of rain out to sea, so they'll probably get wet as they go, but they won't care by the time they're probably 30 minutes in. What a start, what a day, what a crowd. We'll follow them along the way. My job now as lame duck support crew is to find my way from Lorne around to Apollo Bay. Obviously you can't drive on the Great Ocean Road, so I have to go all the way around the inland way, which will take me probably about an hour and 3/4, and I should get there probably sometime after 10 o'clock. Probably won't see the half marathoners finish, but I should get to see everyone else. So sit tight, I'll hit the road and I'll track Allie as we go and see how they're tracking. But what a great start to an awesome event. 2024 Great Ocean Road Marathon, fun times. So stuck in a little bit of a car queue at the moment, and this is one of the challenges, I guess, of trying to get around from Lorne to Apollo Bay to see the marathon finishes. So I've just had an update from a mate of mine who's working on one of the roadblocks just near Apollo Bay. The half marathon finishes have come through. I believe the winner was about 1 hour 18 for the 23 kilometers, which is dead set flying. It's really, really cool. But as I sort of said, the biggest challenge in trying to, I guess, beat the race around is that it's one road down, it's through the mountains, and there's been actually a pretty nasty car crash up behind. So there's been a bit of a hold up with emergency service vehicles getting up. So I hope everybody's okay with that one. But as you'll see in front, I've got about a few hundred meters down to go, and it's just a row of cars down there. They basically run it from Skeens Creek to Apollo Bay, which is only a few kilometers, sort of one row of traffic from one direction and then another coming back. So there's quite a lag at the best of times. But if something bad happens, like has happened up behind us, or there might actually be something's happened down in front, then it does hold things up. So hopefully I can get down in time to see that some of the lead marathoners come through. But if I don't, I'm going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of marathon participants who are all involved in their own individual races and enjoying it in their own way. Hey, all right, so by way of an update, we finally made it to Apollo Bay after the traffic hold up, which I think was largely caused by that accident, so absolutely no grudges there. So it's about 20 past 11. I know the marathon finishers have already come through. A mate of mine got a bit of film of those guys and girls coming through to finish the race, so we'll have to double check what time it was, but we'll find that out as we go. We'll head for the finish line now, and we'll see who else is coming through and hopefully see the ultra finishes, and then we will wait to see when Allie comes through. I'll jump on the tracker shortly and see how she's tracking, but it's a big crowd, it's a huge vibe, even though it's pretty rainy and pretty horrible, and you probably hear the wind, but it's just such a cool place to be. Such a great race. So sort of at that nagging distance now, just up around the corner from behind me. You can't see the finish line, so all these crew know they're close, but they can't actually see home yet. So there's a lot of people who are really hurting at that marathon distance. Just helped the dude out who was cramping, but he's just around the corner and he'll see home and he'll be fine. The ultra winner has just finished. Ran with him for a little bit. I'll try and put his details down below. But now they're coming through thick and fast in the marathon distance and they're just going along great guns. Awesome to see. Living vicariously through everybody here. But they're all going so well. Such big efforts. All of these crew are pretty much bang on that 4-hour time frame, which is awesome running for this race, particularly in these pretty crusty conditions, let's face it. So wonderful efforts all around. They must be stoked with themselves. All right, I've spotted Eloise. She's just a little way back now. She has killed this. She come through the marathon split in a really, really good time. And now she's waving at me, so we're gonna run alongside. You're killing it! Your marathon split was awesome! About 400 meters. Let's go. You are smashing it. Later. You're on. Oh, what a time!
What's it, dog riders? Off the camera!
Well, that's it. What a race weekend. First of all, a really big wrap for all of the volunteers and all the organisers for what was a fantastic event. I mean, to organise something that's like 10,000 strong as far as participants is pretty amazing, and no mean feat to close like a major road along the Great Ocean Road and give people that opportunity to run on it. So that was absolutely fantastic. I think I managed to catch the winners of the ultra marathon and marathon on the video there somewhere, so check it out. The only one I probably overlooked or didn't catch coming through the finish line was Grace Tame, who won the ultra marathon in the female section and also finished 5th overall with an amazing time of, I think, maybe 4 hours and 46 minutes for 60 kilometres with nearly a kilometre elevation gain is pretty amazing effort. She's a brilliant athlete and an amazing person. Now, down to the nitty-gritty of the athlete. We're 2 days post-race, and it's, 7 o'clock in the evening now. How are you feeling in a body sense now?
Very relieved. My quads are still very sore, so stairs and ramps are not my friend at the moment. But other than that, that's just general soreness, no injuries, pulled up really well, considering.
So obviously we've got our helper here this evening, get this done. How do you think you were going to feel, I guess, before the run?
So I was just going to back myself with all the training that I did, and hopefully I could execute on the day. And I did. So I was super pleased with how the marathon went. The first probably 15 to 20 Ks, I just knuckled down and made sure I was stopping at every drink spot. I was feeling amazing and actually looked at my watch and thought, oh, I'm going a little bit faster than what I had planned to. So I was trying to just pull back, focused on my gels. So like I said earlier or before the race, that I would stick to my gels every 45 minutes, and I use my Garmin watch to help keep track. So every time I finished a gel, I hit the lap button on my Garmin. So that would start a new block, a new 45-minute block for me, which was actually really helpful because then it meant I wasn't clicking over the kilometers, the 44 Ks. I was just concentrating on getting through those 45 minutes. About the halfway point, the weather turned. So you would have seen from my footage that there was some rain out in the distance and some beautiful rainbows. Unfortunately, the wind turned from a northwesterly. The northwesterly, we were kind of protected from the mountains, but it switched around to a southwesterly. I felt my legs got taken out from underneath me a couple of times with the wind. But with that, I think just focusing on next time I hit that 45 minutes for my gel, and before I knew it, I was seeing Mark in Apollo Bay, and I was absolutely stoked.
We've had some really good weather at previous events we've run down there, so we were due for a bad one, and I think we can probably put this in the bad one category. So did you get through all the gels that you took with you?
So I took the 5, so I had 2 left over. I think it might have been about the 28K mark. I could feel myself starting to go downhill a little bit, and I just focused on getting to that next drink spot. And the key thing was there were random people out on the course. They're cheering for you. Use that to your advantage. Smile and cheer back. It's amazing how much you feel uplifted by just putting a smile on your face, and enjoy it.
It's a good thing to point out, the personalised bibs that you can get in a lot of these events. It means everybody who's spectating on the side knows your name. And when you're a few hours into a run, whether it be a half marathon, 10K run, whatever it might be, that encouragement is awesome. And it can be the difference between you really, really struggling or having a smile on your face and getting through it. Obviously 2 days fully post-race recovery now. Have you had a run? Have you rested?
So lots of hydration, so making sure I'm drinking lots of water. Again, eating well, same as what I did in the lead up to the run. We had the Monday off work, the day after the run, so we took off to a local sports recovery centre where they had the compression boots. It was actually just nice to sit down for 30 minutes, put the boots on, kick back in the recliner and relax. No running as yet. I think I plan to potentially have my first run on a Friday this week, so that'll be, 5 days post-marathon. I'll see how my legs pull up, but I don't have any injuries. It's just soreness, a little bit of light rolling. I think I'm too nervous to have any deep massage, so yeah, I'll let my body heal.
And that's the thing, everyone's going to recover a little bit differently from what they do, depending on the load they've done or depending on the effort they've put in. I guess this is a disclaimer, we've probably dropped a lot of shoe brands, we've dropped nutrition brands, all kinds of things that we like to eat. They might not suit everybody, and obviously nobody's sending those to us. We consider ourselves front third runners. I think that's probably fair to say. We like to sort of end up somewhere in that front third. And if we can do that going into our middle age, I think we're both going to be pretty happy with that, because our game is to run for as long as we can, as long as we can physically keep doing it, even when funny little injury niggles pop up. That New Balance shoe is a fairly recent release, and I feel like it's probably a more entry-level super shoe compared to some of the others. It seems to be pretty wide in the foot and probably lends itself to somebody who is in that sort of middle pace category. When you're running in the middle times, you need to approach the race completely differently than someone who is an elite or a sub-elite. They're going to be through it much, much quicker. They'll probably need less by way of nutrition. If you're out there for 50% or 100% more time than those elites, it's a whole different focus than an elite athlete. So it's really, really good to share some of those things, and hopefully you get something out of it. So that's pretty much it for us now. I feel like I've run it myself, but I know I haven't because my legs feel pretty good. So for us now, we've got to think about what's next on the calendar. What might be the next thing you're thinking about now, knowing that we've got some sort of trail focus towards the end of the year?
Reflecting back on the marathon and how good I felt in the first half, and I was actually pulling back on my pace, I'd be interested to try a 10K or a half marathon and really give myself a good kick. And see where I can end up. So I'm just hunting around on the running calendar at the moment to see what is out there. One has sold out, so I've popped myself on the wait list for the half marathon for the Melbourne marathon in October.
That's sold out.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, sold out until they release the next.
Sold out.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. So I'm looking forward to what this year and those super shoes and some additional strength training can do.
Cool, sounds like a pretty good plan. For mine, I've just got to get myself right, which is probably going to take a little while now, but we've got a little bit of R&R coming up, so hopefully we can rest ourselves and come back for the second half of the year in good shape and in good form and target some really big races. So that's pretty much it. We're going to chill out now. We've got a little helper here who really wants to be part of the scene. You can't really do much without her. So thanks again for watching. Hope you've really enjoyed the content. Once again, if you like some of the videos you're seeing, check out the other ones. We've got some really cool stuff from Europe. And as we build this channel, we're going to have more and more running content, more and more content to inspire people to get outdoors, give things a try. Don't wish that you could go out running. Give it a shot. You don't have to start with a half marathon. You can start with 500 meters around the block. That's where we started and that's where it all kicks off from. So get out there and enjoy it even in the winter, because that's what we're all about. It's about getting people outside, get out in the fresh air, enjoy what you can do in your capacity. So that'll do us for now. And until next time, keep running, stay happy, and we'll see you on the outside.